All right, no budget audience. I am actually on location today at KinoD, which is Dublin's version of the international guerrilla filmmaking cabaret. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yes, I think guerrilla filmmaking is definitely the way to describe it.
Okay. And Claire and I are here. The rest of the crew is not, but we're the important hosts, anyways. And who are we talking with today, Claire?
We're talking with Stephen. So I'm very excited to talk to Stephen, and he can tell us all about what the cabaret is about.
All right. So, Stephen, tell us a little bit about the cabaret for those who don't know the larger cabaret, and then maybe specifically into the Dublin one.
Well, the premise of a cabaret is that we facilitate filmmaking. That's our basic job here. So we offer a space for filmmakers to come together to make films on their own kind of initiative. That's pretty much all we do. We try to help people as much as possible to get their films completed, but basically we just offer a space for people to come together, and then we screen the films that get made over the course of 2 or 3 days. Each cabaret is different. Every country has its own kind of way of putting on a cabaret. In Dublin, we're quite loose and free. We let anybody make a film if they want to make a film. Some cabarets, like Montreal, for example, have directors who they have to kind of pre-screen. So if you want to direct a film in Montreal, you have to send them like a show reel and some of your recent footage. Whereas if you're if you're on camera, if you're an actor or something, they usually let anybody in.
How many are there total? Sorry, in case you're wondering, we're in the smoking section, so people might come and go, but don't worry about it. So how many cabarets total are there? Do you know?
No idea. There's a lot. They come and go. There's a few kind of stalwarts that tend to kind of persist. Montreal, as I mentioned before, is like that's the original one. That's been going since 1999. It's been going fairly consistently. I don't think they've ever taken a break. Dublin has not taken a break in the 4 years it's been in existence, or the 3 years. This is the fourth international we're at now. Yeah, a few like Hamburg, Tel Aviv, I believe. Yeah, there's a good few that kind of persist, but kinos pop up and disappear, like anything, like whack-a-mole.
Is there a central organization that works through it, or is it more just kind of a local group gets together and says that, okay, we want to set one up and host it? Like, do you need to get rights to the name Kino?
No, it's pretty free. There was attempts at a kind of a basic idea of organizing all the kind of Kino groups together, but it never really went beyond the kind of Facebook group stage. If you want to set up a Kino, basically, you have to... most people have participated in Kinos before, and they decide to set one up in their own city. That's what happened with Dublin. George Hooker, who was one of the original founders of Kino Dublin, had travelled to lots of Kinos around the world, and he was like, need to do this in Dublin. So that's how it happened here, and that's usually how it happens. Nobody kind of... yeah, we don't really pay. There's no like franchise. We don't pay for the name. It's just kind of a loose and free kind of community more than anything else. I participated in the first original Dublin Cabaret as just a director, writer. Had a few ideas, never made a film before, and I decided to participate and make a film at any cost. I did that and decided I wanted to get more involved with Kino because I liked what it was and I liked what it stood for, and I liked the opportunity to meet people, and particularly to go overseas and meet filmmakers in other cities and make films in other cities. For me, that's the biggest appeal to Kino.
So will people then visit from, let's say, if I'm in Ireland and I want to go to the Italian Kino, or do people from Canada come over here and participate in the Dublin Kino?
That's usually how it works. We've had a few organizers this time we've got organizers from Tel Aviv, we've got organizers from Wrocław in Poland. Last year we had organizers from Napoli. The second year we had organizers from Montreal, the original Kino. And the first year, because usually when a cabaret is in its first year, that's when kind of everybody just mobs to it just to see what it's like, what's going to happen. So we got pretty much most of the European cabarets I think were represented the first year. But yeah, usually we get quite a lot of organisers.
So for the Dublin one specifically, it's a week long. It's broken down into different sessions. How's that kind of break down the pitching, that type of stuff work?
Yeah, in Dublin, our method is, well, we changed it this year. We used to have 3 sessions, a 2-day session, a 3-day silent session, and a 3-day anything goes session. This year we added an icebreaker in the first day, and we cut the silent session down to 2 days because we felt it would be better for the participants to kind of have the opportunity to get to know each other before they started, bringing their ideas to the table. Last year we kind of had an issue with the first screening in that there wasn't that many films pitched, so we didn't have much to show. This year it seemed to work really well to just give people one prop, a very limited amount of time, 8 hours to make, edit and screen a film. And it worked pretty well, and the standard was actually pretty impressive for making a film in 8 hours. I mean, I was impressed anyway.
So you've been involved for the last 4 years, is it? Every year. And do you find it has changed a lot? Has it grown, or do you notice any differences, or has it attracted different people? Or what do you think?
There hasn't been a huge difference, really. I think for us behind the scenes is the big difference. But I think for the participants, it's just now they know that there's kind of a regular thing. Every year this is going to happen. And we did a few weekend events as well. So those are always a possibility, not necessarily a definite, but running all the funds we use to run the cabaret, we make them from either sponsorships or from the participants' fees. So we've never gotten any kind of government aid or anything like that. So we're basically just kind of doing the basics of just having the space, putting on the screenings, making sure all that stuff goes kind of according to plan. We never really stepped outside into other stuff. Like some of the cabarets, like in Bordeaux, for example, have these kind of monthly screenings where they have a pitching session, and that's all. And then they have I think they call KinoD dating, which is where you come and find the rest of your crew and cast, and then you just make the film kind of in your own time. And then a month after the pitching session, they have the screenings. And that's something that kind of came out of the traditional cabaret. It's just an extra thing that they do. But at the moment, yeah, for Dublin, it's just the International Cabaret is still our flagship. It's still our main event, and we've always put on side things. But it's always a possibility in the future to step outside that and make more things.
And also, do you ever find some of the films you've made have gone to festivals? And has there been any like huge success stories from any films that have previously been made?
Actually, a film that was made by one of the co-founders, Paul Butler Lennox, was recently screened on RTE Short Screen. It was called The Picture House, and he went out and interviewed older people on the streets and was asking them about the history of Dublin cinemas. And it's done really well now, and it's like I said, it's been screened on RTE, and I believe they're trying to expand on the concept now and bring it to wider audiences and perhaps make a longer film out of it. And for me, Kino has always just been this great opportunity to experiment, and it really pushes you because you're in a creative environment, so you want to make things. You sit at home and you're like, oh, I can't find people, I can't find equipment. It's all there in Kino, so like we say, make films, not excuses. There are no excuses to not make films at Kino. Everything you need is there. If you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere.
It's such a positive experience for me. My first Kino, so it's been absolutely amazing. And I'm delighted to be a part of it. And hopefully some films will go on and have life after this.
All right, and I guess last question, how would anyone find out specifically about the Kino here in Ireland that say they want to participate next year? And potentially, how would they find out something locally in whatever country that they're at?
The best way to find out about KinoD is Facebook, unfortunately. It's actually been pretty good. I mean, it's where all the Kinos are on Facebook. All the international ones are. We are, and it's the easiest way to communicate with us. And anytime we have an announcement, that's where we make it. Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. If you're looking to set up a Kino in your own city, you should definitely attend some in other cities. If there are kinos in your city, just get in touch with them, email them. We're generally quite open to. We always need a bit of help, you know. So if you want to get involved as an organizer, email us, email them. Just do it. That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, and good luck on this year's Kino, and we will see you later. I don't have a cool out yet for the show, so I need